I'm going to show you today a winter mini album using an acrylic base. Hi everyone, this is Debbie from Project 39 Mini Album. You may have seen a haul video I did a couple of weeks ago. I don't usually do haul videos, but I picked up these great acrylic mini albums from Scrapping Under the Influence. I knew Jen Palmer, she was a design team member when I was on a design team, and she's got her own business, and um, does things with acrylic, and she also has mini album kits. So I got a couple different sizes, and I want to show you what I did. So this is 5 by 7, and it's got the round, I don't know, tabs, I guess. Now I didn't do anything with the tabs. It turns out I would have if I had a punch that was that size. I don't remember what the size was, 1 3/4 maybe, or two. I don't know, but I didn't have that exact size. So I said, you know what, I'll just leave them blank. I used the collection Winter Wonder from Simple Stories. It's a 6 by 8 paper pad. And actually, although when I buy things, I try to use them up right away, I picked this up from Peachy Cheap. And, they just don't send things out right away. And that's okay. Just, know it going into it. But I bought it, I think it was the end of February. And by the time I got it, I just was in a spring mode. So I did not use it last year. Now it came with these foam stickers. It came with a sticker book. It came with a paper pad, and it came with a thing full of embellishments, this bits and pieces. So I didn't use it all by far. I used almost all of the paper. I think that's the biggest piece I have left, but you know what? That's okay. If I pick it up another pad somewhere along the way, I will try to finish up what I have. Love the colors of this winter pad. I mean, it's got pink in it, and the blues and corals and mint green and a dark blue. So I thought it was real pretty. And it's got some black in it too, which was really cool. I mean, it works. So here is a foam sticker. Here's a foam sticker. Uh, the the sticker pad had some small strips, so I used that. It says Burr. And then that's the cover. But the good thing about this is you still can put a photo underneath. Now, I did put as the first page some acetate that's got snowflakes on it. It's from Doodlebug, but you could still put a photo here, and then sort of the photo would peek out on the front of the album, and I liked that idea. So here is the back side of this, room to write here. There is the acetate. Now you could add a photo right on there if you wanted to. But here is a photo mat that says Snow Much Fun. I've got some mittens and socks and hiking boots. And then, see, there's black in this, or I'm not sure if it's a real dark navy blue, but in any case, it works. So this is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 uh, frame to put a photo on. His hat is up, so you can stick it under there. And then these are 3 by 3 1/4 to put some smaller photos. And then this will open so you can have just an odd size photo or a small square one and room to journal. A good size photo there. I did use a couple of magnets anywhere I had this flap page. Now, with the acrylic mini album from Scrapping Under the Influence, there were 4 pieces of acrylic. The rest I made. So I cut some heavy duty cardstock. I cut it 7 inches, and then, is that by, did I leave it at 8 1/2? I don't remember. Get out my ruler. No, not quite. I cut it a little bit bigger than that. But I did make a flap so it's a big enough size, but I wanted it small enough it wouldn't interfere with the rings. So there is that. So here's room to put a photo. Here's one of the fun foam pieces. And then I took one of the cut aparts and put it on an 8 1/2 by 3 1/4 piece of cardstock that I scored in the middle. So there is a spot to put a couple of small photos. Yes, you could hear I did put a magnet on that. So that's on the acrylic. And you can see through the acrylic. That's the beauty of this. So you see the little bird through it, and you see that paper through it, which coordinates with this. But then you flip this over, and this coordinates now nicely here, and this is a page all by itself. Now this does flip up, and that is another spot for a photo. So some of the pages have flaps, some are just 5 by 7. So here's another regular page. I loved this pink sweater, and so I wanted to make sure there was something to pull out that pink. It says the season to sparkle. I put this at a little angle just for some added interest. There is the pink. This is popped up. I don't think you can see it, but you open it up, and then we've got a real pretty pink jacket, some ice skates. It says stay cozy with a couple of rooms. Now, sometimes I didn't have big enough scraps for the page, so I used some cardstock from my stash. This is sort of a dark green. I don't know, I just thought it went with this whole thing. I used this scarf sort of to tie these two together. I really liked this pattern. It has little pink in the center of it. I don't know. It was fun paper to use. I didn't think I'd have as much fun as I did. Each page has its own feeling, doesn't it? So we've got this pretty pink plaid. That's a foam sticker, and so is that. One of the pieces of ephemera was this hot cocoa cart. I cut out a little bit of white cardstock. Actually, I cut out two at the same time. So there's one on this side, and then here you can see I've got a couple of snowflakes on that. So when you add your photo down here, you'll still see the photo, and there will be snowflakes adorning the picture. And then I did the same thing with the snow. I cut the same piece, and then there was a sticker in the sticker sheet with the snow cones. Did I have enamel dots? I may have, and I may have forgotten to use them. But anyhow, so there is that, and then here's room for a 4x6 photo. I did put powder under here, but it's sticking anyhow. You could lift it up. I'll have to re-powder that. But anyhow, room for a nice photo there. On that page, this is snow and cocoa, because, I mean, it makes sense. So there is a little teapot for hot water, another photo mat there, and another photo mat here, and it says snow and cocoa there. And then there's a teapot. There was this sticker. It had a bird on it, and I didn't want the bird, but I wanted something to elongate that, so I just covered up the bird with a couple of stickers. So there is that page, and then here we go with this one, Cute Bear, and there's room to journal there, and then this will open like that. Little bunny, his ears are open, so you could stick your little photo there, put a good size photo there, and there's another bird. And here we have just a simple photo mat. So this one I was going to put two white photo mats on top, but I left it that way so you could put two smaller photo mats. This is open, so you could tuck it under there. But I just like how that all corresponds. And then here we've got this one. It says Burr. We've got the little house with the smoke coming up. I have a couple of foam stars on there. This says Magical Memories. This page I just cut a little smaller because I had another piece of paper left and I wanted to use it. So I just cut the paper. It was 4x6. So I just cut that in half. So it's, no, it was 6x8. I'm sorry. So I just cut it in half. So that's 4x6. And it's just sort of a half page, but we've got the colors going on. And then I've got that little photo mat there. It says snowman skating and sledding. I just like the little lamp, just ties it all together. And the last page, I just was using scraps here to put it together. And this is open as well. And then the last page is just, it says Burr. I thought that was a good ending. And then I just tied some ribbon from my stash there on the edge. So it is all ready. All you have to do is get your pictures printed. So if you are stuck inside during the snow that is coming in a lot of the country, go ahead and order this. And by the time you get it, you'll have the pictures developed or printed, and you'll have a nice little book to remember the storm of 2026. That is what I wanted to show you. I will put a link in the description box for Jen Palmer's shop if that's something you're interested in. But in any case, thank you so much for watching and have a fabulous day.